talked about Stamen. We talked about just direct bids of 2 no trump or 3 no trump based upon whether you have an invitational hand or a game hand. But tonight we're going to talk about Jacoby Transfers. And some of you may be wondering, why bother with this transfer stuff? And the reason actually is to get the big hand concealed. With the transfer, the weaker of the 2 hands is generally on the table. In the old type of bidding, when you had a long major, you would just bid it directly. In fact, that's what's described in chapter 3 of the book. If you recall, we didn't even talk about that because I didn't want to teach that and then come back and maybe unlearn that and learn this. The primary difference between the direct method, which used to be used primarily 30, 40 years ago, and the transfer is just as I said. The transfer allows the big hand to remain concealed. Okay? It works like this. First of all, when can you use a Jacoby transfer? Like after a 1 no trump opening, right? So it's a convention that allows the responder to transfer the bid of the suit that you want played into the big hand. You can use a Jacoby transfer after a 1 no trump or a 2 no trump opening bid with any point count. You can have 0 points and use a transfer. In fact, if you have 0 points, you should use a transfer. You're going to have a better chance in the suit contract than in no trump if your hand has no points in it. The other criteria or parameters are you must have at least 1 5-card or longer major. You have 2, but you have to have at least 1. And this is very important. You should have no 4-card major. Why is that? Right, if you have a 4-card major, you use Stamen.
It's either of the major suits.
Either of the major suits. So if you have a 5-card major and a 4-card major, you use Stamen first.
Even with 0 points?
No, you have
No,
to
Stamen you have to have 8
Well,
points.
right, so, but you just contradicted yourself.
Well, if you have 0, okay.
If you have both a 5-card and a 4-card and 0 points, surely you don't want to do Stamen.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know why you wouldn't want to do Stamen. That's a question because it gets you to the same
Because you're
place.
telling your partner you got points.
Yeah, but you get to pass.
No, if you have less than 8 points, you know you don't have game, and you're better off in a suit. So she's exactly right. If you have a 5 and a 4, and you don't have 7 points, transfer to the 5-card.
But what if he did Stamen and he bid the 5?
You don't do Stamen unless you have 8 points. If you have 8 points and you have 5 and 4, then you do Stamen. Okay? All right, so let's go over the transfers. How you execute. It's very straightforward. If you have a 5-card major and you want to transfer to that suit, if you want to transfer to hearts, you bid diamonds, the suit below the suit you want to transfer to. If you want to transfer, if you have spades and you want to transfer your partner to spades, you bid 2 hearts, the suit below spades. Very straightforward. Now, I see people getting confused. Well, should I use a transfer or not? You and your partner should simply decide. Yes, we do transfers, or no, we don't do transfers. Yes, we do Stamen. No, we don't do Stamen. And that's what it means every time. So if you do transfers, and I recommend that you do, and your partner opens 1 no trump, and you as the responder bid 2 diamonds, that is a transfer, period. Okay? If your partner opens 1 no trump and you play Stamen and your partner bids 2 clubs, that is the Stamen convention asking for 4-card majors, period. If your partner opens 1 no trump and you bid 2 hearts and you play transfers, which once again I recommend you do, that is a transfer to spades, period. All right? So the responder, if you want to transfer to hearts, you bid diamonds. If you want to transfer to spades, you bid hearts. And then the opener's rebid, the opener really doesn't even have to think. The opener is supposed to alert. So the first thing you do is say, transfer, say it out loud, and then if your partner bid you 2 diamonds, you dutifully lay down 2 hearts. You just completed the transfer to hearts. partner bid 2 hearts, you say transfer, and you dutifully bid 2 spades. All of this,
Or not?
if you open one no trump, you have to have 2 spades. At minimum, you have 2 of the suit.
Okay.
So if you're the responder and you want to transfer to one of these 2 suits, this is how you initiate it. And if you're the opener, the person who did one no trump, your obligation, you have really, there's no thought process at all. You just respond to the transfer. You say, okay, she's transferring me to hearts. Okay, she's transferring me to spades. The responder is in control here, not the person who did one no trump. Okay? All right, so this is the basic convention. So let's just look. I've got a bunch of hands up here, and I want to go through this pretty quickly because it should be pretty straightforward, I hope. Your partner is open one no trump. Your opponents have passed. Okay? This is your hand. Give my notes here.
2 diamonds.
So what do you want to do?
2 diamonds.
You want to transfer to hearts, right? So you bid 2 diamonds. How about here?
2 diamonds.
2 diamonds. Everyone see that? This hand only has 4 points, but you're still going to go to 2 diamonds. How about here? 2 diamonds. How about here?
2 hearts.
2 clubs.
2
2
clubs.
clubs.
2 clubs.
Third question. Statement. 5 points.
And you go up the left side.
Well, you just bid 2 clubs, and then depending on what your partner bids, you make your next bid. If you say 2 clubs and your partner says hearts, then you found the 8-card fit. If you bid 2 clubs and he says spades, you found your fit. You have 9 cards. If he says 2 diamonds, then you have some other things you could do, which we talked about last week. I don't want to go there tonight. All right, how about this hand right here?
2 diamonds.
2 diamonds. Here.
2 diamonds.
And,
2 hearts.
okay. That's it. That's pretty easy, right? Automatic. Right? Now, the next bid is also automatic. Now, what does the opener rebid here?
2 hearts. 2 hearts.
2 hearts? 2 hearts? 2 hearts? 2 hearts? 2 spades? No. Derek?
2 hearts.
Okay, that much of it is just automatic. Once you decided you're going to transfer, you bid the suit that transfers to the suit you want, and then your partner, the owner, automatically accepts the transfer and bids that suit. Okay? That should be very straightforward. Now, here's where it gets a little more tricky.
Is there, on that last hand number, I mean, is it possible just to pass?
Well, you can, but it's preferable to play this, even though you only have 1 point, you're going to probably take more tricks with spades as a trump than in no trump. You're not going to win any tricks with this hand, more
Right.
than likely, in no trump. And your partner's going to be playing every one from his
I
hand.
see.
Okay? But if you can play in spades, you may pick up a couple extra tricks with these little,
Yes. Okay.
spades. Okay? If you remember back to the very first week, I had you play a hand that way. One was played in 2 hearts. The hand had very few points. And almost everybody made 2 hearts on one way in. And I had you play it in no trump, and everybody went down. It works better in the suit. So you should transfer to the suit. Okay, now, here's where the decisions come in. This, like I say, is automatic. This is the convention. All right? Now, the responder, who's the driver in this situation, has to guide the contract. Okay? The responder knows that the opener has 15 to 17 points and a balanced hand, at least 2 cards in every suit. So now you look at your hand and decide what to bid next. And here's what you bid. If you have less than 8 points, you pass. Okay? If you have exactly 5 cards in your major suit, and I want to emphasize exactly, your next bid will be some number of no trumps. With exactly 5 cards, you're going to bid 8 or 9 points, an invitational hand, you're gonna make an invitational bid of 2 no trump. That told your partner, I have exactly 5 cars for the suit I transferred you to, and I have an invitational hand. That's what that means. If you have 6 or more cards, well, and if you have exactly 5 cards once again and 10 or more points, you bid 3 no trump. You know you're in game, you do not allow your partner to pass. Don't give him an invitational bid if you know you're in game. So you bid 3 no trump. Now that opener still may have something to say here, but this is your bid, 3 no trump. You've got to get it to game because you know you have game. All right? Now if you have 6 or more cards in your suit and an invitational hand, 8 or 9 points, you bid 3 of your suit. Why would you bid 3 of your suit here and not up here?
Because you have 8, 6, you have 8 of 8.
Yeah, you know you have an 8-card field because your partner must have 2. So you just bid your suit, say, okay, this is our suit, I've got 6 of them or more. By bidding 3 of that suit, you have an invitational hand. If you have game, you bid 4 of the suit. You know you have your 8-card fit, so you should be in that suit. So this is a very important distinction here. When you have 5 cards after the transfer, your next bid, some number of no trump, unless you pass on it. And if you have 6 cards or more, you bid your suit. Okay?
Well, regardless, if you have 7 or less, you're passing the bet.
Yeah, you pass. You have less than 7. Because you can't have game. 7 and 17 is short field. Okay, now, the bidding is gone. 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, and now you're the responder, rebidding this hand. All right? So what's your next bid?
2 no trump.
How many cards do you have in the suit and transfer?
5.
How many points do you have? 8. So that's an invitational hand with 5 cards. You do 2 no trump. Does everyone see that? Okay.
4.
How about the next hand?
Pass.
Pass. How about this hand?
3 no trump.
3 no.
3 no trump. 1 out of 4.
Because you only have 5 of them.
You only have 5. Correct. You've got 5, so your next bid is some number of no trump. Okay.
If he had 3 or more, he would probably go to 4.
We'll talk about that in
2
just a second.
spades.
Okay. All right. How about this hand?
3 spades.
Where are we? Number 4.
You're going to bid 4 spades.
You've got 7, 10, 11 points. You've got 6 spades. You bid 4 spades.
11. 4.
When you have game, don't make an invitational bid. You game. Okay. Here we're doing. How about this one here? Count dummy points.
Pass.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be the dummy because you transfer the control of the hand to your partner.
2 no trump, actually.
Because you've got 7
Plus the
and 3. You've got 10.
4 hearts.
Oh, man.
You ever want to see that? How about this one right here?
Yes.
There's no points there. 1. 1. Is 8. Still not enough.
Pass.
Let's make it easier.
Okay.
7, 8.
So it's 2 no trump.
2 no trump,
2
right?
no trump.
Wasn't
You have to be careful when you're bidding with the 5 cards. Well, if you're in no trump, the dummy points are not going to count. So you have 7 high card points here. You have to no trump, you may be a little short. Okay? It's a subjective area. All right, how about this one?
Pass.
Pass.
I guess so, as quick as you can. Okay, now, in several instances, We're done for sure, right? Why didn't I circle this one?
Because you can go back to three of the suit. Go back to four of the suit.
All right, so in this instance, your partner has told you, "Part, I've got 5 hearts, and we have a game." All right, so now you're the opener. You're the person who opened 1 no trump. Okay? What do you bid with this hand after your partner's bid 3 no trump?
Pass.
Because you only have 2, right? So you pass and you play it in 3 no trump. But if you're holding this hand,
Four hearts.
Pass.
you've got 3, you did 4 hearts, because you have an 8-card fit. So when your partner takes you to game after transferring you in no trump, if you've got 3 of the suit you will transfer to, you take it to that suit. If you don't, you leave it in no trump. Everyone understand that? Okay, so let's look at this one. Your partner gave you an invitational bid, right? So what did he tell you when the bid was 2 no trump? 8 to 9 points and 5 hearts, right? So how many points do you have? 17, right? And no trumpets, you just count the high card bills. Did I count that right? 7, 8, 15, 17 points. Remember the rule on invitational hands? If your partner invites you and you have the maximum, you accept. So you bid 4, you bid 4 hearts here because you have 3 hearts. Okay? If you'd only had 2 hearts there, with the 17 points, you would have been 3 no trump. You would have taken it to game because you accepted the invitation. It's going to be game in hearts or no trump. If you have 3 of the hearts, you take it to hearts. If you don't, you leave it in no trump, but you take it to 3 no trump. You follow that? Okay. Let's look at this one. This goes with this hand, invitational hand here. Okay, so once again, your partner says, all right, I've got an invitational hand, and I've got 5 hearts, right? All right, what do you do here?
17 points go to 4. Look, 3 no. Is it spades or
It's hearts. It's hearts. It transfers your hearts. You only have 2, but you have the max. You get 3 no trump. Now, if you'd only had 15 points here, what do you think you would have did?
Pass.
3 hearts. You have the 8-card fit. If you're in the 8-card fit, you move it to that suit, but you stop short of the game. You said, okay, Father, we'll do 3 hearts.
Is that a drop dead bid?
Not absolutely, but it works about 80% of the time. And let me just lay this out as well. There's going to be all kinds of weird hands, and I'll talk about a couple more here. You get 6 of this suit, and 5 of that suit, and 1 of these, and the singleton ace or whatever. Those come up about not 7% of the time. These hands that we're talking about come up 93% of the time. If you nail this, you're going to know what to bid 93% of the time. You're going to pick up a hand every now and then that Charles Gordon would have known how to bid. But that doesn't mean you have to learn every possible combination of every possible card. Start with the stuff that comes up regularly and learn it, and you'll do very well. You'll be able to play in really any game and do fine. All right? And also, if you have a bad result, so let's say you bid 3 hearts here and you made 3 no, you could have made 3 no trump or something. Don't say, okay, that doesn't work. We're never going to do that again. Okay? Don't change your methods just because you had 1 bad result. This works, and we know it works because people have been playing it and refining it for years and years and years and years and years. I guarantee the people who thought this stuff up are much better bridge players than anybody sitting in this room. So they know what they're doing, or standing in this room. So this is important to learn this, I believe. And just try to get it as clear in your mind as you can. To me, the easiest way to remember the transfer is with exactly 5 cards. You always know your next bid is going to be no trump.
If If
And if you have 6 or more, your next bid's gonna be your suit.
If you have 8 to 9.
If you got an invitational hand. Obviously, if you don't have any, you just pass. Okay? Now, I've got a couple other things I want to go over if we have time, and we're doing pretty good. Is there any questions on this part of it? Anything that's not clear?
There's something that happens when I play bridge space, and you can just say it's not part of this.
Mhm.
Sometimes the computer raises and still considers it a transfer. So he goes, I
Well,
don't know why
there's things called Texas transfers and all kinds of
That's
conditions.
something,
Once again,
okay.
so there's a bid that goes 1 no trump, pass, and you bid 4 diamonds. That just forces your partner into the game at 4 hours. But you can accomplish exactly the same thing right here.
Right, that's
That
how.
doesn't mean you can't use that if you want to.
No, I don't want to. I just wondered if that was Jacoby or that's something.
That's called a Texas transfer.
Because it's vague.
It's cool. you know? Okay, now I've had people ask me, do you transfer to minors? So I'm going to talk about minors. Generally, we decided that if you have a golden fit, 8 cards in a suit, you're better off in playing either hearts, spades, or 3 no trump. 3 no trump, you want to play in 3 no trump when you have the fit in diamonds or clubs. Now, I'm going to put up a couple of weird hands here that you may encounter, and I'll tell you what I do. There's multiple methods of doing this. If you go online and do research on transfers to minor suits and stuff, you'll get 47 different opinions. This one's pretty straightforward, and it usually works for me. First of all, I never transfer to a minor unless I have a weak hand, Also keep this in mind. To make game in minor, how many points is it?
29.
Okay, so weak may be 7, 8, 9 points. You don't have a real strong hand, okay? So you have to have 6. Don't transfer if you only have 5. And you should have a weak hand. And if you decide you want to do that, the way you do it is like this. The partner bids 1 no trump. You bid 2 spades. Okay? That says, partner, I'm transferring you to clubs or diamonds. So how do you know which one? What do you know? So he typically bids 3 clubs. Okay? If clubs is your suit, pass. All right? In this hand, diamonds is the suit, right? He bids 2 spades. He bids 3 clubs. Pass. He bid 3 diamonds. Okay? Now this has the disadvantage is your hand's exposed. Or your hand, the good hand is exposed. All right? So just so you also see, this is one way to transfer, but the reason it's so touchy with minor suits, if you have a lot of points, after this 3 club bid, what do you do now? Where are you going if your hand is like 10 or 11 points? You really have no place to go. You probably just bid 3 no trump. So why even bother with that? All right? And if you bid 3 diamonds, how is your partner going to know anything? Yes.
1 no trump, 3 clubs isn't a transfer to diamond?
Well, that's what we're saying. There's all kinds of ways you can do this. Okay, that's in some methods that
No,
could.
I mean, okay,
No, in some methods that would be acceptable. Okay, but I'm just saying, I would suggest you don't use all these more esoteric transfers. Use the basics ones. If you want to transfer to clubs, only do it with a weak hand and do it in this manner. Okay. What happens if you have a strong hand with a minor suit? Okay, now you talk about something that has 58 different suggestions on how to do it. I'm going to tell you how I do it with my partner. This works for us okay, and it doesn't come up that often. I'm not saying you need to adapt this, but it works generally. So in this instance, you've got, by good hand, I'm going to say 12 or more points and a 6-card suit. Okay? So that hand fits that parameter because your partner may have 17, which gives you the 29. You may even have a slam. right? So in this instance, you've got 7, 9, 10, 13 points, and you know, if you're in diamonds, you've got all these dummy points, you've got a real potential for a slam there. Okay? So what we did, or what I did, my partner bids one no trump, pass. I bid directly 3 diamonds, which says, partner, I have 6 diamonds and at least 12 points. I've got a good hand. We may have game in diamonds, we may have slamming diamonds. If you don't think we have either, bid 3 no trump. Okay? Same thing, if you happen to have clubs, you just bid directly 3 clubs.
So you would have to sort of agree beforehand what a 3 diamond or 3 club
Yeah,
is.
and if you go online and read what does a 3 club bid over 1 no trump mean, they'll give you like 8 things that it means. So it can mean multiple things. This is one thing that it can mean, and you simply have to decide with your partner if that's how you want to do it.
Does this method have a name, or is it just a?
It's just, I don't think it has a convention name, it's just a 3 club skull bid.
Just mark it on her sheet.
I don't think, on the convention card, there is a place in the back